He's going to fight for it for the remainder of his administration. Wherever war breaks out, he's going to be the president of peace. Now,
we're diving into a political story that feels more like a reality TV episode than a serious debate about the future of the country. We're talking about JD Vance, Donald Trump, and how the conservative movement is morphing into something loud, chaotic, and let's be honest, a little bizarre. So grab a drink, maybe a helmet, and let's break this down. Once upon a time, JD Vance was the anti-establishment guy. He wore a baseball cap, spoke with a rural drawl, and built a brand around being the outsider who would never kneel to the elites.
Fundamentally flawed in a way that's unique in American political history, it's that Trump is a really bad candidate and, frankly, I think a really bad person.
Fast forward to today, and he's not only kneeling, he's practically live streaming it on Fox News. What happened to that man of principle? The one who spoke for forgotten Americans? Now, he parrots Trump's slogans like a student memorizing Sunday school verses. It's less a political evolution and more a clearance sale on personality. In a recent appearance, JD Vance passionately defended Trump, calling him the candidate of peace.
He's going to fight for it for the remainder of his administration. Wherever war breaks out, he's going to be the president of peace. Now,
Donald Trump, candidate of peace? This is the same Trump who floated the idea of using the U.S. military against domestic rioters. Not protesters. Not criminals. Just far-left rioters. A term that could mean basically anyone with a sign and an opinion. And Vance didn't blink. He supported it. Loudly. He slammed the table. He raised his voice. He yelled that he agrees with Trump, like it's a magic phrase that solves every problem. But the American people? We've got Google and noise-canceling headphones. Instead of offering ideas, Vance offers volume. He doesn't counter arguments, he shouts over them. He doesn't prove points, he performs. At times, he looks less like a senator and more like a guy who just got the last plate of food stolen at Golden Corral. The man once praised for his thoughtful writing now stands on debate stages screaming, "It's not my fault."
Question, I frankly don't believe what you're saying about Donald Trump's words. If you'd like to put up a clip and actually put him
Enter Karoline Leavitt, Trump's spokesperson and, arguably, the hardest working spin doctor in America. Every time Trump tweets something wild or says something baffling, it's her job to make it sound normal. But how do you justify a policy position that sounds like satire? Defending Trump is like trying to put out a fire with gasoline. The harder you work, the worse it gets. And still, Karoline smiles and powers through it. I mean, give her a Tony Award at this point. The woman's acting. At one point, Trump casually suggested that we should annex Canada.
Yes, you heard that right. Canada.
The logic? Well, it would solve the tariff issue. Because when in doubt, why not absorb an entire country? That's not diplomacy. That's cartoon villain energy. It's like Jafar from Aladdin saying, "I'm just gonna marry the kingdom into submission." Only Trump thinks he can tweet his way into international expansion. It would be laughable if it weren't so surreal. And you know who's loving every second of this chaos? Jimmy Kimmel. Kimmel has turned Trump-era politics into comedy gold. His takes on Leavitt's mental gymnastics and Vance's political surrender have become must-watch TV. Because at this point, satire writes itself. When you're in a country where the press secretary sounds like a sitcom character and the senators are shouting like it's a karaoke battle, who needs fiction? So, where does all of this leave us? JD Vance has gone from author to amplifier. Trump remains a storm in a glass of Twitter water. Karoline Leavitt is doing Olympic-level verbal gymnastics. And the American public is stuck watching this bizarre blend of politics, performance, and parody. We're not asking whether policies make sense anymore. We're asking, was that real? Did that actually just happen? And maybe that's the biggest warning sign of all. If you enjoyed this breakdown, hit that like button, share it with a friend, and let me know in the comments. Do you think JD Vance actually believes what he's saying, or is it all just for Trump's approval? And don't forget to subscribe for more sharp takes and deep dives every week. Until next time, stay sharp, stay skeptical, and stay loud, just not JD Vance loud.
Peace.